Hi, this is Drew with the Daniels Ag Services, and today we're going to stick with the marketing strategies theme, and we're going to cover re-owning your grain with calls. Now, before we get started, this is not a direct recommendation. This is not something you should go out and blindly do and say that Drew said it was the greatest thing ever, and it's something that I need to go out and do. It's something you should consider adding to your grain marketing strategies, but it's something that really only a call with your marketing advisor can help determine if it's right for you, your cash flow, your current situation, what have you. So make sure you always consult with them. If you don't have one, let us know. We'd be happy to talk to you, see if we'd be a good fit for you and your operation. But it is something that you should talk with someone about before you go out and do something like this as far as grain marketing strategies go. But with that said, we're going to jump right into it here. And you need to have a good understanding of how calls work, especially buying calls. It's pretty simple. If you don't know, give us a call. We can walk you through it, probably have you a good understanding in it in less than 5 minutes. So fret not if you don't know what a call is or how buying it works. We can definitely get you that knowledge. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over re-owning your grain with calls. So I'm going to draw a grain bin here. And let's say in this bin you've got 5,000 bushels of corn. You've been holding on to it for a little while, weren't wanting to get rid of it, but for one reason or another you're ready to sell. Maybe basis is strong in your area, maybe you need the cash, or maybe you simply just want to get rid of some downside risk, because obviously when you sell the grain that you've got in the bin, it eliminates your downside risk on those bushels. So for whatever reason, you're ready to sell the grain, but you still want to participate in the markets should it go higher. So you're in luck, because you can absolutely participate in the markets if it goes higher by using the futures or options markets. So in this strategy, we're going to go ahead and sell this 5,000 bushels of corn. So we'll go ahead and erase it because you no longer have it. You've sold it to your elevator. And we're going to go ahead and buy a 380 call. And we're going to use the June 380 call because that gets you through planting season. If there's a weather market, that will participate in it, and you'll have the ability to participate from 380 upwards. And again, it's in June. It'll be based on July futures, and June calls will expire at the end of the May. So as noted, it'll get you through if we've got a weather scare, anything like that during planting, you'll be able to participate. So we've got this June 380 call, so it does have a cost associated with it. So the cost for a 380 call, let's just say that is 10 cents. So you got a 10-cent cost associated with it, and then you've got to include commissions and fees as that as well, because that is a cost of participating in the futures and options market. So we've got this 380 call here. So we're going to go fast forward to expiration. It's late May. There was a little bit of a weather issue when with planting, getting into the ground late. Maybe some acres switched over to beans, what have you. And let's say that futures are up here at 410. So you got futures at 410 here at expiration. So with calls, you got to take the difference between the 380 and the 410. So that is a 30-cent difference between these two. So between those two, you got a 30-cent difference. So you don't get to keep that whole 30 cents though at expiration, because you've got to take away this cost you had here at 10 cents. So really, you get 20 cents minus the commissions and fees on top of that. So by having the 380 call, it gave you the comfort and confidence to go ahead and sell the grain you had in the bin, but you also still got to participate to the upside. Now granted, you didn't get the full 30 cents that you would have had you kept the grain in the bin, but for a lot of folks, the ability to simply be able to participate in the upside gives them the comfort and confidence to go ahead and sell that grain in the first place. So it's a good thing you did re-own it in this instance, because we ended up higher. We were at 410 at expiration there. You participated in the 20 cents because we got to keep our costs associated as well. So let's flip that. We're going to take a look at expiration. Let's say we're down at 350 at expiration. So once again, we've got a 30-cent difference between the two. But in this case, since the market was lower, if you're familiar with calls and how they work, your risk is simply what you pay for the call plus commissions and fees. So your loss in this example is just the cost of that 10 cents. Even though this 30 cents is a difference here, as noted, your risk is simply what you pay for the call and no more. So the option will just expire worthless. You don't need to do anything. It's a good thing that you did sell the grain that you had in the bin. And while this didn't work out in this instance, reowning the grain with a call didn't work out in this instance, it might have been the catalyst for you having the confidence to make the sell in the first place. So that basically covers reowning your grain with calls. And as noted, one of the main things that we touched on, you heard a lot about comfort, confidence, and what have you. A lot of the producers I'll work with choose to use this strategy because it does give them the comfort and confidence to go ahead and sell the grain they've got in the bin, and because they will be able to participate if the market goes higher. So one of the main reasons for keeping that grain in the bin is maybe to, various cash flow needs or tax purposes for one thing, depending on what time of the year it is, but also you're thinking that the market might go higher. So you still do have a lot of downside risk though with that grain in the bin. So selling it eliminates that risk, and buying the call allows you to participate to the upside, and then your risk with the call is simply what you paid for it. So hopefully you learned something today. If you've got any questions at all, simply give us a call. And as noted earlier, this is just for example purposes. I'm not telling you to go out and doing this. It's something you should consider adding to your marketing strategy, but it's simply something that a conversation with a marketing advisor will be needed first to make sure it fits you, your operation, your cash flow, what have you. So thanks for tuning in today, and we'll see you next time.
When investing in the purchasing of options, you may lose all of the money you invested.
The following demonstration is for educational purposes only. The hypothetical example presented does not demonstrate that any account will or is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical performance results and the actual results subsequently achieved by any particular trading program.
This material is conveyed as a solicitation for entering into a derivatives transaction. This material has been prepared by a Daniels trading broker who provides research, market commentary, and trade recommendations as part of his or her solicitation for accounts and solicitation for trades. Daniels Trading, its principals, brokers, and employees may trade in derivatives for their own accounts or for the accounts of others. Due to various factors, such as risk tolerance, margin requirements, trading objectives, short-term versus long-term strategies, technical versus fundamental market analysis, and other factors, such trading may result in the initiation or liquidation of positions that are different from or contrary to the opinions and recommendations contained therein. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future performance. The risk of loss in trading futures contracts or commodity options can be substantial, and therefore investors should understand the risks involved in taking leveraged positions and must assume responsibility for the risks associated with such investments and for their results. You should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your circumstances and financial resources. You should read the risk disclosure accessed at www.danielstrading.com. Daniels Trading is not affiliated with, nor does it endorse any trading system, newsletter, or similar service. Daniels Trading does not guarantee or verify any performance claims made by such systems or services.